Hello everyone, I'm Gail Annis Porter. This is the courtyard at Linden-Linthicum United Methodist Church in Clarksville, Maryland, and it is an extremely gorgeous day outside, absolutely beautiful. I was reminded, because of the beauty of this day, of something that I reposted on Facebook recently. That's a line from a poem by Mary Oliver, the wonderful poet Mary Oliver. And she said, "It must be a great disappointment to God if we are not dazzled at least 10 times a day." Now, today's a day where it'd be easy to be dazzled 10 times a day. And that reminded me of some words from Psalm 29, which is a psalm I really like, and I kind of have it memorized in the New Revised Standard Version, but I went to look for how it was presented in the Message, the paraphrase by Eugene Peterson, and it's wonderful too, so I want to share that with you. This is Psalm 29. It says, "Bravo, God, bravo. God and all angels shout encore, in awe before the glory, in awe before God's visible power. Stand at attention, dress your best to honor him. God thunders across the waters, brilliant his voice and his face, streaming brightness, God across the floodwaters. God's thunder tympanic, God's thunder symphonic, God's thunder smashes cedars, God topples the northern cedars. The mountain ranges skip like spring colts. The high ridges jump like wild kid goats. God's thunder spits fire. God thunders, the wilderness quakes. He makes the desert of Kadesh shake. God's thunder sets the oak trees dancing, a wild dance, whirling. The pelting rain strips their branches. We fall to our knees. We call out, glory. Above the floodwaters is God's throne, from which his power flows, from which he rules the world. God makes his people strong. God gives his people peace." Now, it's a wonderful psalm and kind of goes really beautifully with that line from Mary Oliver. It must be a great disappointment to God if we are not dazzled at least 10 times a day. What dazzles you? It's easy on a day like this, right? But some other days, maybe not so easy. And think about some of the simple things that can maybe dazzle you. In this courtyard, there's some clover growing amongst the grass, and I found a clover flower. And I was reminded of childhood, sitting in the grass with my friends, picking these little flowers and making circlets and making necklaces. One of the ways to be dazzled. The sunlight is dazzling. The green grass is dazzling. My friend Dave, who's been away for a couple days, is back today. It's good to see him. That's dazzling too. Relationships with friends are dazzling. Can you come up with at least 10 a day? Ways that God dazzles you? God is providing so many opportunities all the time. And sometimes, especially in the world in which we've been living, it's easy to think about limitations. It's easy to think about things that we're afraid of. But how about thinking about the things that God provides every single day? Big things and mostly really small things that can take our attention and lead us to another place. It's a gift that God gives. Won't you receive it? Amen.